and welcome to the 23rd day of March 2023. Yes, it's a beautiful sunny day out here in the city of Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria, and wherever you are in the world watching this, you're welcome to another interesting episode of the newspaper review here on Mbah TV. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and as you know, it has always been my pleasure to bring you headlines in different papers across the nation. And looking at the papers with me today, once again, is Mr. Victor Sioku. Sir, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir. How are you doing?
Fine, I'm fine. And just before we go straight into the papers for today, Mr. Victor, please, I would like to get your reaction on, at least your thoughts on Peter Obi's petition filed against Enugu.
Okay, I think it's beginning to make sense from my own point of understanding.
I think that's his comments.
Oh my God, yeah.
Should not be sworn in as the president of the nation.
Yeah, he made made some strong comments yesterday, especially when he was saying that he does not really trust the judiciary. And he also made a very strong comment about the constitution. And when he also made a comment about Tinubu not winning 25% of the vote in FCT. So, you know, the constitution, they were like, did they say you must win 25% of 2/3 of the 25% of 2/3 of the 36 states in Nigeria and the FCT? So the question is it that you must make 25% in FCT before you are being declared as the winner of an election? Are you getting me? So that is where the issues are. Some persons are saying, okay, this is a matter of English. Okay, they need to go and interpret. But he's trying to tell us that, see, the constitution has already been interpreted by those lines that it has read. That there are no need of calling the lawyers to come and interpret what has been fully stated. So that's, for me, it will be a very...
strong point? Feel he has a strong point?
Well, you know, in Nigeria, they might also call... Okay, let me answer your question directly before I go. Yes, he has a strong point, I believe. But you know, in Nigeria, in our legal system, there's a whole lot of ways to throw out cases, especially when they come from the point of technicality. And yes, it goes down to the judge. Okay? But we need, just like he mentioned, we need activist judge in this tribunal case. Because we need a judge that will not just be one-sided or might just be thinking of what will be the consequences. Okay, what will be the consequences if the election is overturned, if the election is cancelled? Because one might begin to wonder, oh my, maybe I'm going into full details of the whole thing. But let me just say this before you continue. One might be like, okay, but since let me not say 1993. Why am I calling 1993? Because of the MK Abiola election that was cancelled, okay, by the then IBB regime. But when we go back to 1979, you find out that the election we had in 1979 was more like a sham, okay? Then during the Buhari's reign in 1983-84, we still had issues like this. But now, the issue I have now is that these cases have been going to court since 1979 down till now. Okay, mind you, the 1993 election did not go to court. It was just the regime of Babangida that said, oh, I'm the supreme god here, I'm the supreme judge here. Okay, this is my decision on this matter. But this time around, are we going to have a court that will overturn a presidential election? That is now the big question here. But yes, it's been done in Kenya. Okay, but let's just see, man.
What is actually the use of the court if it can't be fully and effectively functional in times and cases like this?
Yes.
Especially when there are strong proofs to, you know, show the fact that, okay, this particular election process wasn't done properly. So why can't it act accordingly?
One might say that INEC might, that's where people might be pointing a finger at INEC. Like the other prayer that P2B prayed to the courts, that they should not accept Tinubu as the presidential candidate, because he has had he has a drug case.
A drug case, yes.
Okay, and he stated that in our constitution. So, don't you think that INEC were the ones that are supposed to have
done this research,
done this part,
okay,
before the election? Are you getting me?
Okay.
Then, on the aspect of 25% in Abuja, scoring 25% in Abuja, don't you think that INEC too, they could have also made some comments before declaring him as the winner of the election, with respect to the 25%, not scoring 25% in Abuja? So one might be like, see, this case shouldn't have gone to this point. Maybe INEC could have done their part, okay? But my brother, it's a complex situation right now, but I wish everybody the luck right now.
Okay, so these are the issues that we hope, is being put to bed early enough, so that as a country we can be able to move forward. Okay, so we'll be starting first by looking at the Vanguard newspaper for today. Headlines in the Vanguard here. The boldest headline in the Vanguard says, INEC used 3 third-party device to switch results for Tinubu. INEC used a third-party device to switch results for Tinubu. That's according to article on page 5 of the Vanguard. On page 27 of the Vanguard, we have polls. We will take actions against the electoral violence instigators. That's according to UK government. We will take actions against the electoral violence instigators. That's the UK government saying on page 27 of the Vanguard. On page 13, we have Ramadan begins today. Ramadan begins today. That's according to Sultan on page 13 of the Vanguard. On page 8, we have Tinubu not qualified to be sworn in as president. That's Dati Ahmed. According to Dati Ahmed, it says Tinubu not qualified to be sworn in as president. That's Dati Ahmed saying on page 8 of the Vanguard. On page 8, still on page 8, we have SDG on water. Nigeria may miss 2030 targets. That's UNICEF saying on page 8. SDG on water. Nigeria may miss 2030 targets. That's UNICEF saying on page 8. Over now to page 9 in the Vanguard, we have drug trafficking charge. Court declines to stop Abakari's trial. Drug trafficking charge. Court declines to stop Abakari's trial. That story is on page 9 of the Vanguard. On page 19 of the Vanguard, inflation pushes pension funds investment in FG bonds to 9.6 trillion naira. Inflation pushes pension funds investment in FG bonds to 9.6 trillion naira. That story is on page 19 of the Vanguard. On page 16, on page 15, I beg your pardon. Gober polls jubilation as Otti wins in Abia. Mbah emerges in Enugu. Gober polls jubilation as Otti wins in Abia. Mbah emerges in Enugu. That story is on page 15. And lastly, in the Vanguard for today, we have on page 7. This one says, terrorists kill 51 Zamfara vigilante men, abandon corpses in bushes. Terrorists kill 51 Zamfara vigilante men, abandon corpses in bushes. That story is on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. Okay, that's the much we can take in the Vanguard newspaper. Mr. Victor, jubilation as Otti wins in Abia. Mbah emerges in Enugu. Let me get your reaction to this headline, please.
Okay, big ups to the LP. Big ups to the LP family. Big ups to people of Abia. You saw it out there, so glaring, where we are seeing different kind of status of Arabala and Karabala. I know so many people out there.
That's the trending, the trending thing now.
My brother. I know,
everywhere you go to Arabala. What is going on?
Hey, so when it was just so frenzy, but you just see it when the people have voted somebody and they got their result. Okay, so it's there. Well, it's there for INEC. It's there for other parties to see that. Have you gone to cross-check that when your result was announced, how was the atmosphere in the state? That will show you whether the people put you there or you forced yourself. No, telling them that they put themselves is another. You force yourself in. And in many cases, when these people force themselves in, they either maim people, they either threat people, and
a lot of things.
More importantly to them, they spend the money. They buy out people's votes. Okay, so in this case, we saw an election whereby the PDP, for 24 years, they knew that the people were not happy with them. But what then happened? They still put in their head. In fact, even when Professor Ikone, that was the first candidate of the PDP in Abia State, even when he died, they did not, well, one might say I'm going spiritual, but they did not even see the signs that even maybe, I will use the word, maybe death has taken this man away. Why couldn't you people rest? Okay, they brought in another candidate. Now, to even tell you how stubborn and how emperor looking these governors are, you yourself as the governor of Abia State, that's Okezie Azu, you benefited from turn-by-turn politics, which I am not for. Okay. You benefited from zoning, which I do not care about. But during your time to release power, because I will use the word to release power to another senatorial district, for it to rotate, because it rotated till it came to your own turn. What did you do? You presented a man, not just even from your senatorial zone, but a neighbor to your to your local government. You presented him, and he died. Then, what then? We were not expecting that, okay, he might not go and do the proper rotation. Obudezi, if not from Unga people. He also now presented another neighbor from Isha Alangwa. He presented the person, and at the end of the day, you can see the joy in Abia State. Yes, the power went to Arochukwu, but yes, Arochukwu is totally out of his senatorial district. Yes. But now, well, what we even say, he went back to where it was if you had to use the PDP rotation scheme. Okay?
Yeah.
But then, he saw the crowd, the jubilation, even when they suppressed the voters, even when initial Alangwa, which there are very strong indications that they rigged Isha Alangwa and announced it. But in terms of Obiigwa, they couldn't. Because I would say, yeah, one would say kudos to the REC, to the INEC official there that was in charge of Abia State. The woman has been trading everywhere. And that's to also tell Nigerians out there, and INEC, not even just Nigerians and INEC, not even just INEC, rather, but the general public, that if you do good, it pays. It pays. What joy, the aura of joy that must have will I say, circled around this woman and her family. The kind of pride that she will be working with, the kind of CV that she has created for herself and her family. But look at these other INEC officials that you and I know that they were paid and they collected that money. And they are there speaking grammar for us. Lecturers that went on strike, they are the ones doing these things. So
exactly.
That went on strike and telling us that they've been marginalized, that the country is against them, that the federal government is against them. But you are against the people.
Obviously.
So we saw what happened there. But kudos to Abia. Abia State has a lot of work too. Yeah. So I don't even envy Otti.
Okay.
Because they work there only to pack dirty. Only to pack dirty in Abia State.
I was about going
in fact,
there.
if can even only concentrate packing dirty in Abia State.
Okay.
That will open up other investments.
I was getting to that, considering the fact that if we have to be very honest, look at the development state of different states in Nigeria, how developed states are. Abia State is actually one of the worst when it comes to environment and all of that. So, given the victory of Alex Otti in this governorship election, how do you see the future of Abia State in the hands of Alex Otti?
No, I'm very, very hopeful. Reason one will come from the aspect of his experience. Yes, Alex Otti is well experienced. Big kudos to Fidelity bankers, because it's now obvious that Fidelity Bank are the producers of governors in the in the southeast. Okay, so please, serious. If you have a friend that works with Fidelity Bank, don't take that person for granted, okay? Because the person might just become the next governor,
Wow.
maybe in few years from now. Because what happened? I'll take you back to P2B. P2B was former staff of Fidelity Bank, and he became governor. Okay, what's his name? Soludo. Did Soludo work in the bank? Maybe I will go and check my details well, okay? And no, not Soludo, rather, not Soludo. What's his name? The former governor of Anambra State. Man, people leave seat and I forget them. Okay? Oh, I don't want to call his nickname. Why is it that the bad name, his bad name, is what is in my memory? Siri.
Oh my God.
I can't remember. Well, yes, we know him. I will not call his bad name if you want me to call his nickname. Okay? But yeah, he was a former director in Fidelity Bank, the former governor of Anambra State. Okay? Then we now have Otti becoming the governor, and he was a former director in Fidelity Bank. Well, but that aside, like I was saying, Abia State needs help. Okay? They are indebted that I don't know how they will even come out from that. What about salaries? Medical doctors are being owed 26 months arrears of salary. 26 months.
Wow.
Okay? And yeah, kudos to my mom. In fact, I'm so happy for her because by God's grace, by the time Otti gets into power, she'll start receiving her pensions.
Okay.
Okay, how can somebody work for 35 years? You are now begging for pension. Pension is part of your salary. It's part of your monthly pay. They take a portion of it and keep it for you. But what do these governors do? They go to that purse, that pension fund, and wipe out the whole money.
Wow.
That they are doing one contract or the other, one project or the other. At the end of the day, they will not pay. So, but they will pay themselves. They will pay their cronies. They will give out contracts. They will share the money. They will even use the people's money to kill them during elections.
Wow. It's a sad one.
Kudos to Abia State.
We'll move straight now to our next paper for the day, which is the Guardian newspaper. We have some interesting headlines in the Guardian. This one says, the boldest headline in the Guardian here says, Article to Tribunal, declare me winner or order a rerun. Article to Tribunal says, declare me winner or order a rerun. Okay. This one says on page 5, healing can't happen without justice. Rhodes Viver replies Tinubu. He says, healing can't happen without justice. Rhodes Viver replies Tinubu that's on page 5 of The Guardian. On page 7, we have blame yourself for your defeat. PDP chieftain tells Nnamani. He says, blame yourself for your defeat. PDP chieftain tells Nnamani on page 7 of The Guardian. On page 3 of The Guardian, we have NLC threatens strike as CBN orders banks to come for old notes. NLC threatens strike as CBN orders banks to come for old notes. That story is on page 3 of The Guardian. An interesting headline here, still on page 3. We have world leaders hail Elumelu's impacts on Nigeria, African economy. World leaders hail Elumelu's impacts on Nigeria, African economy. That story is on page 3 of The Guardian. On page 4, now we have scientists link hormonal contraceptives with breast cancer. Scientists link hormonal contraceptives with breast cancer. Okay, that's an interesting headline there on page 4 of The Guardian. And lastly, in The Guardian for today, we have on page 5, this one says, Ramadan fast begins today. Fasting begins today. That's on page 5 of The Guardian. World leaders hail Elumelu's impacts on Nigeria, the African economy. Mr. Victor, let me get your thoughts on this headline, please.
Okay, big congratulations. Another congratulations. The first one was Abia State Governor. Big congratulations to the Elumelu's family. Okay, Elumelu is somebody that you just want to emulate his style. You want to emulate his his dealings, his personality. Okay, he's a big mentor to persons like me, and I know we have young Nigerians out there that want to be like him. Okay, just like the dream of every Nigerian that finishes school, you get into employment, and look at what happened to him. Just like people, I know many people out there don't believe in the NYSC anymore, but Elumelu is somebody that I think the NYSC worked for, okay, because he was able to serve in an institution that helped him to grow. Okay. So what happened? He served in the bank, and he wanted to be a banker. So the cool thing is that he was able to get that prerequisite training through NYSC, and that was it. Okay, so he started out from the bank, and he got in as a core member. Then from there, he moved into all states, then chartered, then UBA bought over chartered. Well, he was in the forefront. After many years of growth, yes, he entered, he's 60, but he entered into the banking industry in 1985, if I'm not mistaken. So, but from that 85 to 2010, that's about 25 years, he was able to get his accolades, and these accolades come through hard work. And I want to use this opportunity to tell you out there that are looking for fast ways to make money, that look at the life of Elumelu, that it took him 25 good years. Yes, one might be like 25 years is too big. Well, it's too big, but it can also be too small. 25 years can come just in a twinkle of an eye. But yes, through his hard work, I think I need to mention that and mention that again. Through his hard work and diligence, okay, he was able to be where he is. And it's also nice, yes, it is very nice to also note that you might not go to the Ivy League school, but at the end of the day, you might come out very successful. He graduated from Ekpoma. When I was in school, Ekpoma, I don't know even about now. Yeah, I can even mention this about now. Ekpoma is not a school up there in the ranks, as in Ambrose Ali University. I'm sorry to people that attended the school and people that are still there. Okay. Ekpoma is not, it's not up there.
When you compare it to other schools.
When you compare it to other schools, when you start mentioning about University of Ibadan. Okay. Okay. University of Lagos, University of Nigeria. Oh my goodness, God, that's Nsuka. No, I know what I'm talking about. Yes. Okay, so when you mention those schools, okay, and you mention Ekpoma, Ambrose again,
and that goes back then to tell us that most of the time it's not really about the institution in which you find yourself. It's not really about the school, but it's about your zeal and your personality, your consciousness,
and willingness to learn
and be the best.
And be the best. And be the best. Okay, look at how, you just wonder how dynamic this man has been. But yes, one might also say, which the Nigeria people will say, that if not for politicians that are helping him, he wouldn't have been where he is today.
Everybody needs that help. Everybody needs help.
But see, if you're not good, you're not good though. And the politician, those thieves want to even invest where his money will grow. Okay. Okay, so are you even fruitful? Is your garden rich for them to invest their looted funds? See, I'm not here to even congratulate. Will I say support? Yes, money, exactly. Okay? I'm not here to publicize, to encourage that. Okay, but the Bible will say even study to show yourself approved, the workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth and all that. But see, at the end of the day, we need to work on ourselves. Okay, use the life of Elumelu. He is 60, but what that man has achieved through hard work, okay, and learning, my brother, it is what emulates. Somebody that was in was it last year or last 2 years? Last 2 years, he was up there as the top 100 most influential human being in the world by Times Magazine.
Wow, that's a huge one. That's a huge one.
Look at our politicians out there. How many of them can be on that list? Who now? Who?
With all the money.
No, now tell me now, which of our politicians, today's politician, that can make that list? 100 most influential in the world.
It's a huge one.
Yes. So, big ups to him, and I wish him all the best. Look at how he even moved to Transcorp, and he has Transcorp that I need to mention is Transcorp that I invested shares in those days, that my money went into thin air. Okay. So, oh man, I can't. What about Health Holding? You know the level of jobs Elumelu has brought to this nation. Oh, what about health? What about his foundation, Tony Elumelu Foundation, that was able to give out 100 million naira? Did I say naira? Oh my God, $100 million to 10,000 African entrepreneurs.
Wow.
Oh my God, who does that? That's Tony Elumelu spirit.
Wow.
Kudos to him, and we wish him another 60 years on earth.
Yeah, so we wish Tony Elumelu another 60 years on earth, and of course, we all hope that one day we become as influential as Tony Elumelu. One day, you see my name on that list too, among the top 100 most influential persons on earth. We'll go on a quick break right now, and when we return, we'll continue from where we stopped. Please stay tuned.
Hey there, are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Welcome back from that short break, and still on the newspaper review for today. We'll be looking at our last paper for today, which is This Day newspaper. A headline here in This Day says, non-compliance with Electoral Act invalidates Tinubu's election. Article tells the tribunal. It says non-compliance with Electoral Act invalidates Tinubu's election. Article tells tribunal. Okay. Another headline here in This Day says, at last, Labour Party's Otti wins Abia. PDP's Mbah clinches Enugu. Okay, I think we already saw this before in the previous papers. On page 10 of This Day, we have Raman, Tinubu out of country to rest. Observe lesser Hajj. Raman, Tinubu out of country to rest. Observe lesser Hajj. Okay, that story is on page 10. On page 36 of This Day, we have APC suspends boss Mustafa indefinitely for non-performance. Okay, that's on page 36. It says APC suspends boss Mustafa indefinitely for non-performance. That's on page 36. And lastly, in This Day for today, we have Seplat Energy drags former chairman Ojiako to court for alleged false representation. Seplat Energy drags former chairman Ojiako to court for alleged false representation. Okay, that's the much we can take in This Day newspaper. Mr. Victor, I'd like to get your thoughts and reaction to Raman's words. He says Tinubu is out of the country to rest. Observes lesser Hajj. What do you make of this headline?
Yeah, I wish him all the best. And one will be like, it has started again.
Are we now moving from fry pan to fire?
Some say that he went for medical treatment, but we don't have such valid information here. There are still mere rumors. But did he travel out of the country? Yes, he has traveled out of the country. And yes, that is what we were also talking about. Personally, I don't want a president that will just be roaming about because of either for rest or just maybe not roaming about this time around for health reasons. Okay, if you are not strong enough, you don't have to become the president of this country. Okay, I hope that yes, holidays are cool. If I have the privilege to travel out for holiday, why not? But we don't want, we wouldn't want a situation whereby you are always on holiday, or you went on medical treatment, but you call it holiday. Okay, so that we don't know, because we know we faced this thing for the past 8 years, and it wasn't good for the economy. It wasn't good for our face out there as a nation. Okay, so I hope he comes back stronger, because let's also face the fact, politicking in Nigeria is not an easy business. Okay, it takes a whole lot of out of you. It takes away your strength, your physical strength, your mental strength. So I hope as he's making these trips, he is also getting that rest, which I think is needed. Okay. But you also come from the aspect that don't we have places in Nigeria that he can go and rest? Well, such thing happened while he was campaigning.
More luxurious hotels.
And it's not just about hotel though. Resting is not just about staying in a hotel room. Okay. He might want to, have a free air, go to a small city.
So there's no free air in Nigeria?
Oh, come on, sorry. Maybe I'm not using the right one. But yes, one will say, why are you not doing this rest in Nigeria? Go out to some places. And you have the security, you have the money. There is Tinapa. Is Tinapa still fully functional? But yeah, there are still some cool hotel or resorts in Nigeria that he can actually go. But one might not be like that his visitors will be disturbing him, which they said one time ago that he needed to leave Nigeria to go get some rest because his visitors will be disturbing him. But man, these are more like.
Do you think this actually points to the fact that just maybe Tinubu is actually too old to become the president of Nigeria? Because we can remember even before the elections, there have been several talks from his different political colleagues telling him to go and rest. Tinubu, go and rest. You're too old to become leader of Nigeria, become president of Nigeria. Go and rest. Do you think this statement now from Rahman is actually an indication or a proof to the fact that Tinubu just might be too old to become president of this country?
Well, in terms of age, unfortunately, we don't really know his age. I don't really know his age. No, I need to say I'm not really sure about his age. Okay. Yeah, some persons might be like Tinubu is older than what he has said because of his physical appearance. Okay, but that aside, you might see my mate and the way the person is looking very, very old, you will shock. Okay, but we shouldn't count it on that fact. But when you go down to his documents, the non-plain documents, I don't know how to place it out there, but things are not really straightforward with his candidacy, just like what we observed during the Buhari's yes, it's still his regime though, but during the time when we were questioning his certificate and all that and his age, and man, such thing might just happen throughout the such thing might still happen if Tinubu is being sworn in. They will still talk about it. What about the drug charges? We'll still talk about what about whether he worked with Mobile or whether he did not work with them. We'll talk about what about whether he worked with KPMG, Deloitte and all that. So all those issues. What about whether he's from Osun State or from Lagos State? We don't know. So the issues are just too much to mention. But yes, to our Muslim family, to our Muslim viewers, we wish you all the best during this Ramadan fasting.
After Ramadan.
Yes, we'll just pray that the Lord will guide you and will give you strength to carry on this season. Amen.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for your time with me on the program today. I really appreciate it. And I also appreciate you, my wonderful viewers who have been faithful to your screen up until this very time. I say thank you, because without you, this program won't be possible. This is the end of the newspaper review for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and do what to turn on your notification bells after subscribing so you get notified when we drop new videos. And also check us out on our different social media platforms. You can check us out on YouTube. We are TAF TV on YouTube. On Instagram, we are TAF TV_NG, and on Facebook and Twitter we're TAF TV. Thank you so much once again. Until we come your way again next time to enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.